Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and welcome to another episode of the Daily Red for Anfield Index. What a day it could be, eh? In just under 5 hours, the Reds will take the field at the Etihad, won't they, to play Manchester City in the true definition of a Super Sunday. 1,000,001 things to go into. I'm your host, Dave Davies, coming to you from, it's just one of those proper pishing it down in Edinburgh. Everyone staying outside or inside, trying to avoid outside as much as possible. Hopefully, it's a bit nicer in the world wherever you are. But you don't really care about that. You care about this game, don't you? Absolutely massive game. And shout out to Dale there saying bringing a bacon and egg barm. Hungover, whatever, Dale. There's a big game coming. And in terms of big games, it doesn't really get much bigger than this, does it, in all honesty? If Liverpool are going to mount a title challenge, they have to win today for me. And people will say, oh, they exaggerate, you overplay and must win, all those types of things, blah, blah, blah. Nah. If Liverpool were going to win the title at all or have a real chance this season, this is a must win. And if you do win it, the sphincters will be going big style at the Emirates. Trust me on that. Even a draw, you're like, okay, it's still the same, but you know how it works at different times. You will all have your opinions. I don't care. Must win. Got to do the business, Liverpool, today, if they are going to mount a serious title challenge. Looking at the headlines, if we have a quick scan over what we can see, quite a bit kicking around as ever on Anfield Index. Rude suggestions that say one article, there's an undroppable Liverpool star for the City game, and we'll talk about the lineup, of course, and what we think it should be. Andy Robbo and Richard Hughes leaving it to the last minute over a contract. Barcelona eyeing a move for Ryan Gravenberch. I'll save you time. No. Liverpool ready for the next Firmino. That's an interesting one. Bobby's cousin, Liverpool are looking at, so we'll talk about that. And there's more bits about Konate's future at the same time as well. But in terms of building this one and the big game, as Pep said, and you could see there's a little bit of a dig at Arsenal because of the way they've been recently. We play against the champions. Too right you fucking do. Arsenal is not the champion. The champion is Liverpool. They come here to defend the title. Yeah, we do come here to defend the title. Absolutely. We come here to give City a real run for their money. We come into this game and genuinely, and I may be pronouncing this wrong, Maskless 10087 says 3 points today and Liverpool are back in the title race. Absolutely. Zero doubt about it. There'll be 5 points adrift of Arsenal. If you look at the fixtures coming up, if they win, obviously, touch wood, you'll just have an eye on it there. The bum holes will be going at the Emirates as well. This is, you cannot undersell it. I don't give a shit what anyone says. This is a massive game. This is a must win. In terms of build-up before then, there's two, absolutely. If you've got, I don't know, call it 25 minutes or so on your hands, half an hour roughly. These are two videos you've got to watch. And they've actually dropped in the last hour and a bit, so to speak. So this one through TNT Football. Now, it's an interview with Owen Hargreaves and, more importantly, Dominic Szoboszlai on how he's become one of the Premier League's best midfielders. It's about 10 minutes long, and it talks about his awareness, what he's doing in the game, the setup, the different roles. He even admits his favourite position as an 8 at the same time as well. There's so much in this one. Trust me, well worth 10 minutes of your time. Just a few quotes from this as well, because I like a few bits on his background as well. Luckily, I grew up in Austria, in Salzburg. Then after that, I went to Leipzig. Of course, he was at the Red Bull clubs, wasn't it? So I think in this Red Bull school, you've got to press, don't you? You get used to it. And if you don't do it, you're just out. You can be as good as you want with the ball, but if you don't do it, then you're out. Nothing defines Dominic Szoboszlai, isn't it, this season, as much as he's been brilliant on the ball and 7 goal contributions. As ever, it's Dominic Szoboszlai without the ball, isn't it? Yeah, back in that number 10 role, pressing like an absolute maniac at the same time. It just, for all the tweaks, the double pivots, Verts coming in against Real, all those things we can argue. Yes, Dominic Szoboszlai has been far and away Liverpool's best players this season, but in the last few games, where he's playing and how he's playing has made all the difference at the same time. There's another brilliant quote as well about Liverpool's unity and mentality. We have to find a solution as a team. Everyone can have a good game, but if you don't perform as a team, it won't help. True. We've seen that, hasn't he? We've seen that Szoboszlai has been putting in brilliant individual performances and looking around at his teammates this season and going, anyone fancy helping? Anyone fancy helping me try and retain this title and do the business? So he's right there as well. It's all about, and from today as well, how we do as a team. It's funny though, people are optimistic with this. Tilsheen saying, I actually feel like we're going to win today. Probably balance it by losing it to Forest, but we will have a week of are we back talk. Let's not get too far ahead with Forest, but if we win today, I'd say we're right back in it. And Szoboszlai also talks about the title race in this video. As he says here, the most important thing is to keep going like this. There is a long way to go. Now it's all about the Premier League and facing Man City at the weekend. We know how good they are. We have to focus on that. We just need to focus on ourselves, win our games, and then let's see what other teams are doing. Yeah, we have to just keep winning. 4 defeats in a row has eviscerated any potential wiggle room if we are to be serious about a title race. He's absolutely right, Dominic Szoboszlai. We've got to focus on ourselves and we've got to start winning games. And it has to start with today at the Etihad. And can you imagine in a week if someone had told you after the Carabao Cup and all those rested that, by the way, Liverpool are going to beat Villa, Real and City. You'd have done the old John Henry with like, what are they smoking over there type of job. But it is realistically possible and it should be the aim for today. Honestly, so excited for this one. So that was it. Honestly, again, 10 minutes of your time. Dominic Szoboszlai, TNT Sports, TNT Football. If you want to search it on YouTube, well worth a watch. And I don't always like giving these guys too much credit, but this is well worth a watch. Also dropped in the last hour or so. Hugo Ekitike opening up on how Liverpool's forward line works to Sky Sports Premier League on YouTube. Interview of just shy of 17 minutes. But again, brilliant to watch. Talks about Liverpool, the competition for places, working with Isak, all sorts of things. So let's just give you a few of the best quotes from this one as well. So, I mean, he's settled brilliantly, hasn't he? And as he said, Liverpool felt right. The identity, the work ethic, the values, the support of the stadium, it's the place to progress. I'd say life is great. I've settled in well. I've got good teammates. It's a top football club. It wasn't difficult off the pitch. I settled quickly and found a house quickly. I joined the team in China and the boys helped me. Life is good here and I really enjoy it. He also mentions Ibu briefly, and he's good mate off the pitch as well. But it does seem like he's settled really well, hasn't he? And to be honest, by far the best of the new signings. There's not too many, unfortunately, are rivaling that at the moment. But a key cog in this team right now at the same time, you'd say, wouldn't you? That linking the play, dropping deep, getting goals, making things happen, the little flicks round the corner, the holding it up. It's just starting to get better across the board from Hugo Ekitike. Yes, he is young, so you'll get those natural signs of rawness as well. But he's absolutely crucial at the moment for us, and he will be today. at the same time as well. And I think as much as I talked about him settling well, he was honest in this interview as well to say, it's just like a club for me to keep progressing, to keep improving myself like a serious club with big values and great supporters and a tough stadium. It's the right place for me. Does feel like Hugo Ekitike, and no disrespect to Eintracht Frankfurt, he's enjoying this bigger stage, isn't he? Really reveling in it in sense of doing well in the Champions League, at the top of the Premier League, into the France squad now where he's making appearances and, he's more than hopeful of going to the World Cup, isn't he? He's very much seen it as that next step and he's thriving in it over all the other signings as well. And he was honest about Arne Slot and how he works with him as well, which I didn't mind hearing at all. I would say he's on my back, but not for a bad thing. He just wants to help me so I don't take that badly. He wants me to give more and more. Damn straight. You can tell when he's talking to him and when he's speaking to him from the sidelines. Arne Slot knows the talent he's got on his hands in Hugo Ekitike. He also knows it's a bit of a rough diamond, isn't it? Needs a bit of polishing. There's still a bit of rawness to his game, and naturally he's learning the Premier League and the physicality, and there's bits that will come with that at the same time. There's been brilliant moments, without doubt, like especially the Everton goal stands out for me. But there's been games, hasn't there, where you could see Brentford away, Ekitike kind of looking like, what the is this? So he's still learning at the same time. So Arne Slot will be taking him through that and on his case in the best possible way, because of the ceiling with Ekitike is absolutely insane. And just a short one of this, because this is, one that people talk about, asking, could he play with Alexander Isak? Did say we can definitely play together. And he talked about it's only a half, wasn't it, against Frankfurt, but the signs were there and the positives around that at the same time. Again, tell you what, got a good half-hour plan for you there, Anna. You can go Dominic Szoboszlai on TNT Football back-to-back with Hugo Ekitike on Sky Sports Premier League YouTube as well. Half an hour or so of two players who've been brilliant this season, talking about how it's gone and various things. So I watched them. Cannot recommend doing that enough. And Avo the third there saying, obviously today, the reverse fixture last year was what I think was our performance of the season. This was the game that proved to me that Slot has a plan. And if the team listens to him, we will win the Premier League or win the league. Luke Holman there saying as well, it's a must win. No changes and play our game. I can see a 3-1 win for us today. It's funny, isn't it? It's funny how football just affects people in the best possible way, that after that Carabao, it's down in the dumps, all the things that were being pronounced. Then all of a sudden, a win against Villa, beating Real Madrid, the way we've been playing. People are bullish about this one today, aren't they? And quite rightly, to be honest, at the same time. We'll get to what I think the lineup will be and what it should be very shortly. In terms of other bits, though, as well, as we say, it was a great interview from Hugo Ekitike. Florian Wirtz has also been speaking and talking quite a lot. So bits of this was serialised on Anfield Index yesterday. As it says from Florian there, I think we had the right mentality from the start. That was against Real Madrid. We were good in the duels and bringing enough effort on the pitch to compete with Madrid. And I think that was the key. They were really competing on a really high level, and it was good that we could bring a performance on the pitch. Everyone brought their A game against Real Madrid, didn't they? Everyone. And when I say that, even the subs who came on, like Curtis, Jones, etc., Chiesa had a real impact at the same time as well. If we are going to get a result against City today, you are going to need, again, 8 or 9 of them to be really on it from the start. Florian Wirtz, I bet you've got your own opinion of whether he should be in the starting lineup at the same time as well. He was talking further and he talked about team chemistry. He said, I think I already have a good connection with my teammates on the pitch. Of course, the numbers are not there now, but I just tried to give my best game. That's what I always do. And I'm happy that I can create some chances. See, it's funny with Florian Wirtz because the whole goals and assists thing has obviously been let's say a millstone, but a huge focus. And naturally, it's going to be when you spend 100 million or so on a player. But actually, when you talk in terms of the numbers being there, really, they have. They really have. In terms of you see the chances he's creating. I'm sure you've seen the stats that Opta, Michael Reed and others have put out. Florian Wirtz is a chance magnet. It's almost not his fault, to be honest, that others haven't converted those. You think even against Real Madrid, Szoboszlai, it's a brilliant save from Courtois, I get, but you expect Szoboszlai to bury it. You expect Salah to stick it away easily when he hits the post against Atletico Madrid. You expect Salah to stick it away against Chelsea. Do you remember when he did that sort of flick with the inside? But, he should have more goals probably, but, he missed that chance against Brentford. But he should have assists. That's down to his teammates. Florian Wirtz is an absolute chance magnet. So to his teammates to respond to that now, isn't it? And the last bit that was a good serialization of this one, saying about the mentality. So I think the game against Madrid really helps to get in the right energy and on the same level it will be on Sunday. I think it was a good test and we are ready to compete again. Yeah, it just felt like, and these could be famous last words, something just clicked a little bit, especially for Florian Wirtz against Real Madrid, but just the team in terms of the way it should be, what's going to be needed now with zero exceptions. Well, there you go, people. Wirtz, Ekitike and Szoboszlai, 2 worth a watch, 1 well worth a read. Everyone's doing a lot of talking in the best possible way. It's now about actions, isn't it? In all the news, it's a little bit of, unfortunately, all the indications are people heading towards the departure doors. You see there, the Ibu bit, Liverpool star, future looking less and less likely at Anfield. Robbo, Hughes leaving it late, with any potential contract offer. There doesn't seem there's any talks at the moment at all. And this was important. Fabrizio Romano did say this on his YouTube, that because there'd been reports that Upamecano was verbally agreed to join Real Madrid and, Konate had dropped down the rankings, however you want to put it. But Romano saying that's wrong, that Konate is still the main target for the Spanish Giants. And there's more talk, isn't there, about a contract being offered. In terms of how they compare, I actually think it's quite simple because people have bracketed these two together, Upamecano and Konate. I actually think the differences, the contrasts between them are pretty straightforward. Who's better in the air? Konate by a country mile. Who's the quicker, the stronger defender? Konate again. Who's better on the ball? Of course it's Upamecano, isn't it? The ability to play, spread the play. That's his big strength. And if Arne Slot is thinking my main priority at the back is a baller or someone who can progress it, then he'd have that edge, wouldn't he? But that's not all we need from our centre half. Yeah, in terms of the things you need him to do, like your tackles, your blocks, your aerial, like he is better, Konate, if you watch the two. And that's regardless of what FB Ref says as well. In terms of mistakes, unfortunately, they do sometimes both have a clanger in them. History's told us that. We can see things with our eyes. But Upamecano just has brain farts at times. And just, that Lovren style just goes wandering. Not saying Konate's been perfect and he's not had the best of seasons. You can't avoid that either. Interesting to see what happens with both of these realistically. But in terms of what we don't want to see, I do think all the indications are, as we sit here, that Konate is heading towards the exit door. I don't think we can really escape that, but there's still a bit of hope rather than expectation. In terms of other expectations, any for the departure door, Again, it's team talks. There's a big question mark around the source there. But as it says, Robbo open to a pre-contract agreement to join Celtic on a free transfer from next summer. He wants to give something back to Scottish football and finish it where it all began. It's an interesting one, isn't it, with Robbo? Because as we sit here right now, right this moment, for me, Liverpool's strongest team includes Andy Robbo right this moment. Because it's been a bit of a struggle and adaptation period for Milos Kerkez. And I think the fan base as a majority tends to now be coming round to that. We need to just feed him in slowly, manage it. Maybe he's just been, a bit overawed. And echoed what happened with Robbo when he first came here, wasn't he? He wasn't straight in the team. There was James Milner, Moreno at left back as well. So, maybe Fabinho echoes of that, just taking a bit of time to get up to speed. So people have got right now, this moment, Robbo ahead in the pecking order. But long term, I've seen a few say, we should give Robbo another contract. Robbo is on mega money at Liverpool. Are we going to give mega money to a 31-year-old fullback who the plan is still realistically that he is the understudy? He's ahead now. I wouldn't debate that, but that's the longer term plan. I just don't see it. And vice captain, would he be happy, being this sort of understudy or the backup? I don't think he would be. And this is no disrespect to a guy that's been world class in his pomp, an unbelievable signing for, was it 8.5 million, something like that, from Hull? Brilliant. But you just don't see a renewal in the future. You see a departure at the end of the season at Anfield, the ceremony and the pomp, quite rightly, and everything those ways. But you just don't see it at all. Who knows, though? Nothing should surprise you in football. But contracts yesterday was Szoboszlai and Gravenberch. That was the main talk, wasn't it? That's maybe the one we're keeping an eye on more than anything. Now, the next Firmino, Bobby's cousin. Look at that. Bobby Firmino's cousin. What a name. Selton Sanchez. He made his Champions League debut. He's in Atletico Bilbao's under-19 side. 3 assists and a goal. One to keep an eye on. Shout out to Ben Boxak for this one. Just to say, obviously, there's nothing directly Liverpool linking. And I know there can be random links to all sorts of talents, but you never know. Could Bobby's cousin one day end up at Anfield? We wouldn't mind it at all, would we? But right this minute, as we sit here, I know we're coming up to midday, and you're probably planning your Sunday roast, be it beef, Yorkshire's lamb, whatever it will be. And everyone knows what our mind's drifting towards. This game, innit? Now, it was second versus third yesterday, but it's third versus sixth. It is a Super Sunday, though. Liverpool, as it stands, 8 points behind the leaders Arsenal, who drew yesterday. Bit of a surprise there, I think it's fair to say, wasn't it? Against Sunderland away. But Liverpool have a game in hand. I can't see it any other way. If Liverpool are going to mount at any type of real title charge, they have to win today, because it just changes the trajectory somewhat. If you think back to the previous international break before it all went wrong, a couple of international breaks ago, it might be Liverpool were 5 points ahead and cruising, weren't they? And now, if you could flip that around, say, still 5 points adrift, but it's the momentum, isn't it? It's just as a few chinks. Arsenal have conceded a few goals, haven't they? And then all of a sudden, Liverpool have gone on a run where they've beaten an Aston Villa who were banging form, Real Madrid, and then City. What that would mean would just get the odd pucker holes going at the Emirates, wouldn't it? No two ways about it. And if you look at the fixtures after this international break coming up, there'd just be an interesting period up to Christmas, wouldn't there? But it's a must win. I'm not interested in anything else or what anyone else says. Some people will say, a draw. Nah, draw, you're still, 7 points adrift. And Arsenal will be thinking, well, they drew against City. We got a tough one there. It kind of lets them off the hook a little bit. A loss, and absolutely forget it. It's done, isn't it? In fact, if it's a loss, it's a City versus Arsenal title race, realistically. We're just focusing on top four and other competitions. And do you know what? I can see some in the chat panel giving it the whole, giving up. Bend over and face reality. If Liverpool don't win today, there's no title race, really. I know title race doesn't start till later, but you can be out of it already. It's a must-win game. You cannot undersell that for 1 single second. In terms of who we play in this one, this is the big question, isn't it? Till Sheen there saying, Vert's being started off the left, but given the freedom to drift wherever he wants, sounds better than the 10 role he was asking for. This is the big question, though, isn't it? Will Florian Wirtz be in the starting lineup? I don't think he's going to do what I would do. But I'm going to be dead clear on what I would do. Marmadashvili, of course, is going to be in nets. VV Diabu, Van Dijk, Conor Bradley, having pocketed Vinicius, has got to be up against Doku today. And I'd have Robbo ask him to go again. Of course I would. They've had a good bit of rest on this, people. It's important to say. We did play Tuesday. City did play Wednesday. So, Tuesday through to Sunday, there's been a fair bit of rest and recovery for this one. But I wouldn't change that back four. In fact, I'll make it dead easy for you. I wouldn't change a single player from the Real Madrid game. I would have Florian Wirtz on the left, pressing all over like he did. Key part to our, being allowed to create, allowing Robbo to get forward on the left at the same time as well. I have an inkling or a bad feeling about this. And I want to be proved wrong completely on both fronts, that it's going to be Gakpo back in on the left. I even just wonder if he's going to put Kirkez in there because of how many Robbo would have played in consecutive days. But for me, you've got to keep the midfield the same. You've got to keep the attack the same. This team showed how good it was. It bared its teeth against Real Madrid. Provided touch wood, there's no injuries, let them go again. And if you do that, you've still got serious options on the bench where, fingers crossed, hopefully Alexander Isak will be there if we do need a goal as an option. But Chiesa, Curtis Jones, serious options there. Kirkez as well. Joe Gomez, maybe, if you want to solidify or do things a bit different. Same as Real Madrid for me. I genuinely think sometimes it's as simple as it is complicated. And that is what I'd be doing. Just not convinced Arne Slot will stay it the same. But whatever he puts out, 3 points is a must in this one. In terms of AI content for you, we have got you covered all the way through. Jack will be doing the watch along, of course, for that game. Gags, joined by a guest, will be doing post-match as well, talking all things around this one. The Raw boys will be doing their bit. So Trev, Dave, sure they'll be joined by someone as well, talking about this one. Now, technically, we're having dinner in a bit. I think someone's coming around or something, but the missus was telling me. If they're expecting conversation, unless it's about Robbo over Kirkez or why would he pick Cody Gakpo over Florian Wirtz, I don't want to talk about anything else because, don't lie, it's midday and just hit the stroke of it. You're all thinking the same. You're all thinking about how's he going to set up? Can we stop the cyborg getting a goal? All those types of things. It's massive. Don't undersell this for 1 second. It is a must-win game. And in a weird way, so it is a massive pressure, it's away and all this, I am confident. The heart is saying a 2-1 victory. The head, to be honest, as I take the emotion out of it, I just get the wonder, is it going to be a draw? Just feels like a weekend of draws, doesn't it? Spurs United draw, Arsenal drew, are we going to complete the set and it all knocks on? But if you win to complete a week where you've beaten Aston Villa 2-0, Real Madrid 1-0, and then Manchester City, what a week that would be. In fact, a week where you'd be, fuck that international break, let's keep going. But we'd have to build. And obviously we'd have things then like Alisson back, as Arne Slot's confirmed, Isak with a few more games. It's, there's a lot of positives coming if you win today. Please, baby Jesus, baby Moses, all the gods, pray to anything you can get your hands on, ladies and gents. Excited for this one. And on Sunday, the 9th of November, ahead of literally a massive Super Sunday, that was another Daily Red.